Hey guys, last day of holiday club. It's a real shame, but it's been fun so far and today's going to be just as much fun. What did you have for breakfast today? I wonder. For me, I had a bowl of cornflakes and then I had a bagel and it filled me up, but that wouldn't feed a lot of people, would it? But in today's story, we're going to hear about a time where a small boy just had some loaves and some fish, and that was shared amongst thousands of people who were all fed. So come back in a bit for the story. We're going to go and crack on with some of the songs, so I'll see you after the songs to tell you the story about the loaves and the fishes. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Jumping for joy, I'm shouting. Hi guys, welcome back to another craft. Today we are going to be making some sea creature keyrings. In your craft pack you should have a plastic outline of a sea creature and a keyring. You're going to be needing something to colour it in with. I would recommend felt tips. You can use pencil crayons, but with the felt tips you will get a brighter colour once it's been shrunk. You will also need for this craft a hole punch and some scissors. Now, once you've finished colouring it in, you are going to need a responsible adult to help you because it will need to go in the oven. So for when it goes in the oven, you don't need to worry about grabbing this now. This will happen at the end, but when it goes in the oven, you will need a baking tray with a bit of foil on. But that's for your responsible adult to worry about and not you. So first things first, you're going to need to colour this in. We'll pop the keyring to one side. Please don't lose it, put it somewhere safe. And to colour this in, you will notice that it has a shiny side and a plastic rough side. You'll also notice at the bottom it does actually say colour this side on the rough side. So you need to make sure that you're colouring in on the rough side. So I'm just going to start colouring this in. I'll probably fast forward through this, and so I'll see you once it's been coloured. With this material being a bit plasticky, you're going to have to be quite careful about leaning on stuff you've already coloured in. So hold it round the edge and make sure that you're not putting your hand on what is already being coloured in. So once you've finished colouring in, you then need to cut it out around that dotted line. I would leave a bit of space around where the hole punch needs to go, just so you make sure that you've still got the hole later on, but I'll show you. You might want an adult to help you with this because it can be quite fiddly. So I've now cut it out. I'm going to now hole punch this hole. I've left a little bit of space around the edge just so I've got a little bit of leeway if I don't line it up very well. There we go. And now I'll just get rid of that edge there. Right guys, so for this next bit you are going to be needing help from a responsible adult. So if they're not there with you, go and grab them, bring them back, and then we'll move on to the next step. So I should be talking to the adults now. What we need to do is we need to shrink these in the oven. So you'll need to get a baking tray. I've used an old one, but I've also covered it in foil just so we're not ruining the baking tray. So you can put the designs, if you've got more than one in your house, feel free to put them all on the same tray. And then we're going to put them in the oven at 150 degrees C, and we're going to put them in there for 1 to 3 minutes. But you should probably watch it all the time while it's in there just to make sure it's doing the right thing. So once you've taken your sea creature out the oven, it's important to let it cool down for a minute or so until it's completely cool to touch. And so you'll see that we have this plastic shrunken sea creature keyring. So what we need to do is we need to attach this to our sea creature by threading the smaller ring through the hole punch we made earlier. So if you've got nails, this will probably be a lot easier, so you just need to separate the ring and do that sideways. There you go. And if you do this very delicately, because you don't want to damage your shrunken sea creature. And just keep rotating that. There we go. And now we have our plastic sea creature keyring. I hope you've enjoyed this craft. This one was quite fun. It was quite interesting to see something this size shrink down to this size. And so send us a picture. We want to see where your keyring is. I'm going to put mine on my backpack and I'll see you in the next craft.
Hi guys. Today's story is another story of Jesus and the miracles and the amazing things he did. This time we hear that Jesus was out on a fishing boat speaking to a crowd of people, and he needed to just get away. He was tired, so they sailed across a lake, Jesus and his disciples, and they went up on a mountainside, and Jesus was resting there. But then he looked down the hillside and there was a big crowd of people coming towards him, thousands of people, thousands and thousands of people, not one or two, and all these people were walking up the hillside. Why were they doing that? They wanted to hear about Jesus. In the same way as we found out at the start of the week that the children wanted to see Jesus because he was amazing, these people all wanted to see him. Now the day was getting on, it was getting into the afternoon, and Jesus was there talking to these people, telling them stories, and they were amazed with all the things he was telling them. And then he realised that a lot of them looked a bit hungry. Now, it wasn't like Dronfield. They couldn't just nip to Sainsbury's or Aldi and get some food. They were in the middle of nowhere, up a hillside. But there was one boy. So Jesus said to his disciples, go and find what food we've got. And they went into the crowd and they found one boy. And he had 5 bread rolls and 2 little fish. Probably enough food for him. But that was all they could find. So Jesus said to his disciples, it'll do. Go and give it out to everybody in the crowd. And his disciples must have gone, Jesus, are you sure? That's not going to work. But they probably knew in the back of their minds, because they'd seen him do miracles, that he had a plan and it was going to work out in the end. So off they went around the crowd, breaking off bits of bread and breaking off bits of fish and giving them to people. And to their amazement, there was enough food for everybody to eat. Nobody was hungry. And they went round at the end and they collected more in than they'd given out. They were amazed, going, Jesus, how did you do it? And Jesus just said, well, the people needed it, so I provided it for them. And that's all about Jesus. If we need stuff, Jesus wants to provide it for us. But equally, and as importantly, we learn that Jesus has always got a plan. And whatever we've got to give to Jesus is always enough. And what do I mean by that? Do I mean giving Jesus money? No, not really. A little bit, maybe when you're grown up and adults, maybe. But it's Jesus is happy with the amount of love we give him. If you want to say, Jesus, I love you, he's really pleased with that. And he doesn't go, oh, I need more. He'd love more, but he doesn't need us need us to. All we've got to give Jesus, it will be enough for him. And this story just goes to show that Jesus, again, loves everybody. He was concerned for these people and them eating and that they were hungry. And he arranged, therefore, that they went and had enough food to eat. So as we get to the end of this holiday club, hopefully you guys have learned more about Jesus. You've learned some stories about him. And he's an amazing man, and he's changed my life totally. And what do we do at church? Well, at church we learn about Jesus. And we learn about all the amazing things he's done and why he did those things. And we also learn about what happens at Easter when Jesus died. And we learn about why Jesus died, because he died for a really important person. And that person's you. And I'd love to tell you more about why Jesus loves you, but not just you, your brothers and your sisters, your mum and your dad, your aunties, your uncles, your neighbours, your grannies, your grandpas. He loves everyone. and he loves us all the same. And I'd love to talk to you more about that. So maybe when we're back in school in September, come along to church on a Sunday morning, or come and join in some of the groups that we do. I hope I'll see you guys soon. It's been brilliant having you with us this week. We've got some activities, another craft and some songs, and then that'll be it for this year's Holiday Club. So thank you for coming along, thank you for getting involved, thank you for giving me feedback. It's been great hearing from you over this summer holiday so far, and I hope to see you all soon. So keep well and keep safe. Bye.
Hi guys, and welcome to the last craft of Holiday Club. Now we're going to be making a sea creature mobile. So in your craft pack for this last craft, you should have 2 octopus shapes. One of them should have a slit at the top, the other should have a slit at the bottom. you should have 8 wooden different sea creatures. Don't worry if yours look different to mine, it's going to be quite random depending on which ones you've got, but they should be very different sizes. So I've got some big ones and I've got some small ones. And then you should have 2 different sets of string. One of them is going to be a set of 8 shorter pieces of string. They should all be roughly the same length. And they are to hang the sea creatures to the octopus. And then the other set of string should be 2 much longer pieces, and they are to hang the mobile up. So you don't want to mix these strings up, the longer ones and the shorter ones. If you keep them to one side, then you shouldn't mess those up. So you're also going to need for this craft something to colour it in with. I would probably recommend paint for this because it's wooden, but don't worry if you don't have paint, because I don't have paint. So what I'm going to be using are my felt tips. And for the string, you may need some scissors. So let's get started. Now, it's time to get started with the colouring in. I should have perhaps also said that you do maybe need a pencil if you want to draw designs on the wood, and then you can paint over the top or colour in. So I want to draw a nice smiley face on my octopus, but if I was to draw an eye here, an eye here, and a smiley face here, the minute you join it together, the eyes and mouth are in the wrong place. So I'm going to do an eye here, and a smiley face that meets in the middle. So from here I can tell if I just mark 2 little dots, just to know, just as a guideline to know where my eyes need to be. And if I draw a couple of little markers there, when I take them apart, I can see there's a face there, an eye there, and an eye there. So now I'll draw them on and we'll see if they line up. Right, that mouth might be a little wonky. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks all right. So now I have a face on the front of my octopus. And so now I can start colouring it in. once you've coloured in the fronts and the backs of all the sea creatures and the octopus too, it's time to start assembling the mobile. So, first thing we need to do is we need to get the string, which was the set of string that had the shorter 8 strands. And so what we need to do with these is we need to tie them and knot them to each individual sea creature. So, if you pick up your sea creature, this might be fiddly, you might need an adult to help you with it, but we are going to just tie a simple knot so it's secure, and then we're just going to double knot it just because we don't want them to fall off. Okay, there we go. And if we do another one, so you just push the rope through, make the loop, take the thread, push it through the loop and tie the knot, pull it tight. And we'll just do the same thing to make a double knot. So it doesn't really matter if you've got a whole big length of rope here. I think it'd be nice to make these different lengths anyway, so you've got a little bit of difference on the mobile. And we can always snip that off with the scissors. But you want it to be mostly long here, and you don't want too much of a big overhang there. Okay, so I'm going to attach all the rest to the thread. So, as you can see, all the sea creatures are now attached to the shiny silver string. So next you need to get your octopus and put that together. And if we just rest that on its side like that, then we need to put each of these strings through one of these holes. So as before, you just thread it through and tie the knot. Pull it tight and then do a double knot. It's probably helpful if you leave a little bit more string there just so we can tie a double knot. But I'll have to go at fiddling to get that through there. There we go. Right. Okay, so now we've got to do that for the rest of the fish. There we go, so all the front ones are attached. Next, you can turn the octopus over and you can do all of these on the back. So, once all your sea creatures are attached, if you stand your octopus up like this, the next thing we need to do is take these two long pieces of string and then we can attach them to hang up your octopus. So this next step's really your choice. It depends how you want to hang it up as to how you tie it together. So if you want a longer hanger for your mobile, if you just thread one of the threads through this side and pull it halfway through, and then if you take the other long piece of thread and put it through the two on this side, you then have quite a long bit of rope to tie together to hang it up. I probably have mine shorter than that, but it's really up to you because it depends where it's going in your house. So you can, if you wanted to do a shorter rope, you could take the one and put one end through the left side and then the other through the other side, and then you can change the length of these. Oops. And tie that together like that, and then you can hang it up like so. But it's really down to your choice, so maybe get your responsible adult to help you with it, because I bet that they're the ones that are going to be hanging it up somewhere. So the very last step for this one is to just trim all these long bits of thread that you don't need, just to make it look nice and neat. Oops. Of course, being careful not to actually cut these bits, we're just cutting off the little loose bits of thread, and you can also cut them off up here. So we've now finished this craft, and that is actually the last craft of Holiday Club. It was really nice to do all these crafts with you. Send me all the pictures of all the crafts that you've done. I'd really love to see how you got on, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other in real life soon. Bye!
Deeper than the deep blue sea, brighter than the sunshine. It's God's love for me. Oh, wherever I go, God is with me every day. When I wake up, He's with me every day. When I play, God is with me every day. When I obey, He's with me every day. When I sleep, so I never have to be afraid. God is with me. Yeah. When I'm super sad and grumpy, or unhappy as can be, Jesus is my best friend. He's always there for me. Oh, wherever I go, God is with me every day. When I wake up, He's with me every day. When I play, God is with me every day. When I obey, He's with me every day. When I sleep, so I never have to be afraid. 'Cause God is with me every day. When I wake up, He's with me every day. When I play, God is with me every day. When I obey, He's with me every day. When I sleep, so I never have to be afraid. God is with me. Oh, bigger than the biggest ocean, deeper than the deep blue sea, brighter than the sunshine. It's God's love for me. Oh, wherever I go, God is with me. Yes, God is with me. God is with me. Oh, God is with me.
Have you guys had fun? Is your brochure completely full? Hopefully you've got to the end of your brochure, and you'll see there's a page there all about us maybe getting together for a barbecue. Show that to your mum or your dad or whoever you live with, so hopefully you'll be able to come along. I'll let you know if it's definitely on closer to the time, but also hopefully you'll see there's a load of sheets with different things that we do. Yeah, we do this summer holiday club every year, but we do stuff throughout the year, guys. We have amazing time at Christmas. We do Messy Church every month. We do Hope and Light every week. We do J2 and we do Jolt and loads of other activities. So jump onto the Dronfield Baptist Church website. It'd be great to see you, not just at holiday, not club, not just virtually, but throughout the year. We've got loads of going on. There's loads of families. We have a lot of fun, and it's a great church. So please do come along and find out more. I really hope you've enjoyed Holiday Club, and I know it hasn't been like it usually is. I've really missed doing the silly games. I've missed having bags of sweets, throwing them at you, and all that fun. But hopefully next summer we'll be able to do that. We're thinking already about having a jungle theme. So get thinking, could you get a gorilla costume or anything like that? What could you do for next year? But hopefully it won't be next summer before we see you. Hopefully we'll see you before Christmas, and if not before Christmas, we'll see you for our messy nativity or things like that. So goodbye, keep well, keep safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye.